And I am a volunteer in Honduras with Eternal Family Project. So if you want to go ahead and put the other slide, I'll just tell you a little bit about what our ministry is. So Eternal Family Project's mission is to break the cycle of poverty through the power of a forever family in Honduras for young women. We can go ahead and, it's a little small, but I'll help you guys out to read it. So we live in Honduras, and for those who don't know, Honduras is in Central America, so that's just south of Mexico before South America. And Honduras has the second highest poverty rate in Latin America. The average income is less than $2 a day for a family. Education is only required through 9th grade, but the majority don't even make it to 6th grade. And so education is just really not valued throughout. There's an illiteracy rate of about 13%. And then the femicide rate, so female murder rate, is about 7.8. I could just speak loudly. Can everyone hear me? Because I could just speak loudly. Thank you, though. If we can get one for Gaby, I think that will help, but I'm good. So the femicide rate is about 7.8%, which is the female murder rate. To put that in perspective, here in the U.S.
We got one.
There we go. Thank you so much. All right, is it working now?
Yes.
Okay. So hopefully everyone was able to hear what I had said at the beginning. My voice does carry, so I hope that helps. So to put in perspective, it's a 7.8% femicide rate in Honduras. Here in the U.S., it's about 2.2%. Now, what's devastating about that percentage in Honduras, more specifically, is there is a 95% impunity rate, meaning 95% of the assailants are not convicted. So only 5% actually are convicted of those femicides. And so that's just a little perspective of what life is like in Honduras. On the picture there, you can see the house. It's scrap materials, and that is a standard house for everyday Hondurans. And so what Eternal Family Project is about, and you can go ahead and put up the next slide, it's about life change. Now, Allison founded EFP in 2004, and she founded EFP because she served in an orphanage for 2 years. And there she saw that women were not receiving an education, and so by the time they aged out of the orphanage, they were turned into things such as prostitution, gangs to survive, or they were essentially becoming enslaved within the orphanage in order to have shelter. And she wanted to change that. And by changing that, she didn't just want to create another institution, because those institutions weren't working in Honduras. So she wanted these young women to receive an education, to receive the skills that it takes to change their lives and to break the cycle of poverty. But the best way she saw to do that was by giving them the love of a family. So this is not a girl's home. It's not foster care. It's not an orphanage. Eternal Family Project is firstly a family. And so EFP does what a family does. It provides an entire life support system. So this is not just about education and basic needs such as food and shelter. It is about mental health care, physical health care, learning life skills to become independent and successful. And so this has taken place in several ways throughout the years. We've had several graduate with medical degrees from university. We have those who have different disabilities who have been given opportunities to live a life that they might not have had outside of that. And so to better explain the mission is someone who is living out the mission and the vision of EFP, Gaby, who is one of Allison's daughters.
Hi, thank you for having me. When I was little, I grew up in an orphanage, and when I was in the orphanage, I had no wheelchair. I would crawl around and get to wherever I needed to get. I literally had no life. I was set aside with people who had mental health issues, people who were disabled, and the kids who were normal would go to school, would get an education, and would do other activities. I was set aside. People with disabilities in Honduras have no life of becoming independent, of living their own life. And when Allison saw me at the orphanage, something that stood out to her was, why is this girl doesn't have a wheelchair? How is she getting around? Later on, I think that summer, I was able to be brought into her home. I was given a wheelchair. I remember I couldn't roll it independently, but somebody was there pushing me around, and that made me really happy. As the years progressed, I was able to get a wheelchair independently where I could roll myself and be more independent. I remember being at the orphanage, just because I wasn't required to go to school simply because of my disability. I felt like I had no future. I felt my future was black and white. I never saw myself going to school, to high school, to college. And as the years progressed by living with Mom, she believed those things for me. The people that came to the ministry believed that I could be somebody bigger. Believe in a future that I never believed in or dreamed of. But God did dream of that future for me. Amen. And He continued giving me that.
Amen.
Sorry. And now until this day, I am here in the States going to college, having a wheelchair, having independency, and like any other college student here in the States, living independently. And EFP, it's a great ministry. It's family. It's something that I could never ask for. Allison is like her mom. She's our world. She has invested so much in our future, from mental health, because all of us have come from traumas. We had battles to face in order to achieve the goals that God wanted us to achieve. And we have slowly achieved those goals, but we're here. And we're here because of people like you and a lot of missionaries who invest in us and believed in us. And yes, my goal is to graduate college, and I hope we can still be part of that together, and one day keep you guys posted if that's what God has for me.
Amen.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
So this is emotional for me too, because I've known Gabby since she first came to Allison, and I've seen the growth that has taken place in her life through EFP. So I actually started visiting Honduras when I was just 14. So that's actually 14 years now. I've spent half of my life getting to know EFP and seeing Honduras through the eyes of EFP and through the amazing girls that Allison has adopted. And so I'm not just seeing the mission take place, I am now seeing the fruit of the vision that we have worked so hard for since 2004. And it's such a blessing to be able to be here in this moment where we are in a place where the vision is in action right now, and we're seeing the fruit of it, because it's hard work that we are doing, and it's work that takes years. This is intergenerational traumas and a cycle that has been unending, and there's no hope for many Hondurans there, and you see that here. You see the effects of that here in the US. And so the fact that within EFP we are really seeing this vision come to life. Gabby is not the only one who is in the States. Two of her sisters just came through a couple weeks ago, and they are also going to be attending university in Tennessee, just next door. And we also have Judy, who years ago moved to the States and now has her residency here, and she works for Operation Christmas Child and with another soccer ministry here in the States, up in Georgia. And so this is a vision that is coming to life so much in this moment, and we're so excited. And we want our vision to keep growing. And so the ways that we want to do that is through a property that we have purchased. It's right along the lake up in the mountains. It's about 11 acres. And on this property is where EFP wants to build its forever home. As you can imagine, with a house full of 20-something girls and now 2 babies of Allison's, you need a lot of bathrooms, you need a lot of bedrooms, you need a really big kitchen, plenty of yard space, right? And those are just not houses that we're able to find. EFP has been renting homes as they're able, as much as possible, but these homes don't properly accommodate our ministry's needs. And so on this property, our vision is to build our forever home. And that even extends beyond the house itself. We want to expand. We want to give others the opportunity to grow their families through foster care or adoption. And so EFP wants to build a community of homes where people can come and live, have residency in Honduras, and begin to grow their families as well, and help us expand through breaking this cycle of poverty in Honduras. And so we can go ahead and go to the next slide. And so now what, right? So we have this mission that we're just on fire for, and vision coming to life, and a vision for the future. And so as you guys have been talking about and started talking about today, spiritual gifts, right? There are so many different ways to get involved with an organization like ours. And EFP is truly just unlimited in the ways that you can get involved. Whatever your gift is, we want it, and we want to use it, and we want to partner with you. And so that can take place through the form of volunteering. And you might think, well, I can't go to Honduras. But you don't have to. We need bodies, stateside, just as much as we need them in Honduras. You can also visit. It doesn't have to be a long-term commitment through teams or a short-term visit. The girls would absolutely love to host you. It's their favorite thing in the world to have visitors, especially if you're down for making bracelets with them or running around outside or letting them draw on you. They love it. They love to meet new people, and they love to just experience the love of those visitors and volunteers. There is also a way to get involved through sponsorship. So sponsorship means that you have the opportunity to develop a unique relationship with one of the girls. And so you're providing for the household, education, living needs, and all of that, but you're also developing a relationship with them, a deeper, more meaningful relationship. And it's just as meaningful to them as it could be to you. And so there are so many ways to be involved and to take part in what we do here. And we are just absolutely thrilled to have the opportunity to share that with you guys today. And so Gabby and I will be in the back after the service. We've got a table with a couple of items. You can see pictures of the girls individually and these little bios that they've written themselves. We've got pictures of them that you can take home, as well as extra information. And as Barbara had said, the VBS this summer took part in making a contribution to EFP, and so the girls have something that they would like to say for you. Thank you.